Good Friday, everybody. Happy Friday. December 26th, the day after Christmas. How are all of you doing? Quite a few news bits to talk about today. How was your Christmas? Let's start off with that. Let's start off with how was your Christmas? Everybody get to their places safe. Get back safe again. More Trump ass-kissing today. I'm not sure about that, homie. I don't think so. I am not sure about that. Welcome back. Hey, Rusty. Yes, good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Couple of news topics for today. No Rumble notification. Great. Neat. Well, I am at a different time slot than normal because it is Friday, a little bit early. Next week, it'll be all basically at the same normal time because I think everyone's back. I like to take advantage of when other people take the day off to go live and try and find some new viewers and new people, you know, to say the show. Did Santa bring you everything you asked for? Yeah. I mean, I didn't really ask for anything, but got it. Yeah. Drove 200 miles dropping off gifts and eating at Sheets, but could have been worse. Is their food any good? We don't have those around us. I mean, I see them when I travel. Christmas sucks. Someone stole my credit info. Got the flu and the truck broke down. Oof. Well, it's all uphill from here, hopefully. About all I can say. Just not a lot of positive spin. I think I need a new chair though. Between Christmas and New Year's, I'm redoing my desk to help a little bit with my neck and back, just a little more ergonomic. So the camera's going to be up a little bit higher, and I'm putting a regular monitor in front of me instead of this one that I have to kind of look down at all the time. I'm going back to my old chair too. Well, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can call us a very serious country when a day before Christmas, suddenly, our government finds 1 million new files to release to the public. But just poof, 1 million more files. Now, I don't know what's in these files. We're going to talk a little bit about that. I have a feeling Donald Trump might know a little bit what's in there. He alluded to it in a Christmas Day tweet storm or Truth Social storm, where he says that some Democrats will be named. Now, I'll tell you this. First and foremost, these files that we've seen have largely been a nothing burger. The 10 to 20 co-conspirators thing, then it ended up being early in the investigation. That was really the only interesting thing of note. Unless you just like looking at creepy pictures. I mean, there certainly are creepy pictures, but nothing in these files have the most important thing is they haven't led to any arrests. There hasn't even been any information in them that really makes me think somebody is going to get arrested. But now 1 million more files. I wonder if they were out of the Southern District of New York. I wonder if they were being protected by certain people. Let's get into this. By the way, New Year's is coming up. It's just 5 days away. And I have a great idea for you. If you're going to a New Year's party or you're hosting somebody, there's a link in the description to my coffee store where you can get any one of my coffees in time for New Year's, some of it overnight. Strongly recommend vanilla sugar cookie and hot butter rum and gingerbread for New Year's Eve, or apple strudel or butterscotch toffee. They're all there. If you don't want flavored, we have all of our unflavored stuff, and we have it all available in K-Cups too. Link in the description. Support the show and be a hero. Bring some coffee. You'll need some that night or the next day. Breaking: President Trump says Democrat names are about to come out from the Epstein files. Enjoy what may be your very last Merry Christmas. Now, I don't know. It seems like Trump might know something about this. This is all on the heels of the DOJ saying the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York and the FBI have informed the Department of Justice that they have just uncovered over 1 million more documents potentially related to the Jeffrey Epstein case. The DOJ has received these documents from SDNY and the FBI to review them for release in compliance with the Epstein Files Transparency Act, existing statutes, and judicial orders. We have lawyers working around the clock to review and make the legally required redactions to protect victims, and we will release the documents as soon as possible. Due to the mass volume of material, the process may take a few more weeks. The department will continue to fully comply with federal law and President Trump's direction to release the files. Again, you see 1 million files and still nobody has faced justice. I think we just see the names of every lawyer, judge, and agent, etc. over the years who didn't do anything. Yeah, no client list, so you have 1 million more documents, pictures, and presumably videos, but no one did anything except Jeffrey, right? Could you please cease and desist undermining the president? It's quite clear the whole thing is being done to make him look bad. Look, my position has always been, I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if there were pictures of Trump on the island, or not on the island, but like on the plane, hanging out with people. But I never thought that he was ever involved in any diddling. He likes him young, but he likes him of age. Okay. The issue here is the diddling. And it doesn't seem like we're getting any information around that whatsoever. I mean, are we even serious here? You know, Kash Patel, Pam Bondi. Here's Mike Cernovich. When Pam Bondi gave us the binders, she told us that there was no new information, but that Volume 2 is coming soon. See? She claimed Southern District of New York had hidden the files. See this letter from February 27th, 2025. Then she and Kash Patel said no files. Today they said 1 million more files. I mean, this kind of stuff is absolutely unforgivable. You know, in my opinion, they're probably all in on it. Democrats, Republicans, independents, they're all in on it, right? They're all, anybody who had a bunch of money or had any bunch of influence was probably on the island. There's probably compromise. I believe that Jeffrey did, in fact, and there is evidence that points to this, that Jeffrey did try to get compromise, on President Trump and just simply failed to do so. Now the Justice Department is scrambling to find holiday volunteers to redact these new files. Now, I know this is an unpopular position, but I've just been on the release everything as it is train because, quite honestly, unless it's like, video, like, gross stuff, that kind of stuff. But like, because the more stuff you redact, the more like questions you leave, the more openings for questions you leave. A supervising prosecutor in the Southern District of Florida U.S. Attorney's Office emailed the entire staff on Tuesday, 2 days before Christmas, announcing emergency requests for the Deputy Attorney's Office the SDFL must assist with. According to a copy of the email reviewed by CNN, we need AUSAs to do remote document review and redactions related to the Jeffrey files, the email said. All I've seen right now to be totally honest, is these files leading to a bunch more money for FBI agents. The FBI has paid nearly $1 million in overtime to redact the Jeffrey files. $1 million. So the FBI agents are making thousands and thousands of dollars more. We've got nothing. We've really got nothing interesting in these files. It's all like Fugazi. Who knows if they're making up all these files with AI at this point? By the way, this is the thing. Just in, President Trump shoots a warning shot at friends of Jeffrey in the Merry Christmas post. Merry Christmas to all, including the many sleazebags who love Jeffrey Epstein. Enjoy what may be your very last Merry Christmas. Now, maybe that means Donald Trump has seen these files that were, in my opinion, most likely hidden by the Southern District of New York. We know that's basically where all the corruption is. We basically know that's where all the scumbaggery is in terms of the United States government. That's where the Diddy trial was. That's where Jeffrey's trial was. All these big trials end up in the Southern District of New York, whose leading member is James Comey's daughter. The more stuff I see this comment in the comment section too, writing, I'm convinced that the diddling claims are National Enquirer nonsense. The bigger story is his involvement in the Iran-Contra pipeline, his subsequent use as a CIA asset. Yeah, I mean, we know that he did bring in some younger people. Like, he did bring in some young women to do his massages, and he was charged with stuff like that. So I don't know if it's all completely fake, but I would not be surprised if it's completely overblown. That's like the red herring. What he really was doing was helping our intelligence agencies gather compromise on foreign leaders and domestic leaders. I mean, with more than 1 million pages ago, justice struggles with these new files. What about all the video? What about all the video, the security cameras that were collected? It's very interesting. Now, the DOJ has officially missed a deadline for the full file release. Does that mean there will be charges? I don't know. American taxpayers are forcing $1 million bill. Also, Trump and his allies can get away with having, done terrible things. Well, I don't know about that. As of right now, I've seen nothing even questionably redacted. There's very, very, very little. It's mostly just been nonsense. I mean, the FBI knowingly released a fake letter that was submitted to derail President Trump's election in 2020. We know that much. We also know the FBI released a completely unfounded claim set to derail his presidential run. Those are the two biggest bombshells, and they ended up being fake. One, Jeffrey's letter was mailed 3 days after he was dead. And two, the other one was some crazy person that was just some schizo who would call in tips all the time to the FBI. So there really was nothing. Now, Asmongold talks about this. He says, trust is broken in the Jeffrey files. Fallout calls out mega influencers who are staying silent. I don't know any mega influencers who are staying silent. I'm not, but I guess I'm not a mega influencer. I guess I'm definitely very loud about it, but I'm also very realistic about it. I'm trying to say that I've been on the record saying we were just never going to get anything good. We were never going to get, oh my gosh, here's a Democrat leader who, was involved and now he's going to get arrested. That was just never going to happen. If this is the reality of it, and it's still worth covering as stuff comes out, but if Jeffrey had any decent compromise, what do you think would have happened to it? Do you think the FBI would have turned it over to the American people? Or do you think maybe they knew he had all this compromise and they said, I guess we'll just keep this for a later date? That's kind of what I think. Don't forget, link in the description. You can also just search up Coffee Brand Coffee on Amazon and click through to our store. Get yourself some coffee for New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. If you're going to a party, bring some coffee. Not everyone drinks alcohol. You know, it's good to have some delicious coffee and it'd be supporting the channel, and you get it shipped. You'll have it in time for New Year's by Monday, December 29th, or most of it. Some of it will be overnight. Definitely check it out. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll talk to you again real soon. How was your weekend? Jeremy, when are you going to bring your orange cream coffee back? Well, for 2026, my plan is to not really introduce any new flavors and work on driving down costs. So to, get better pricing on my bags, get better pricing on my K-Cups, get better, and then get better pictures of all my products so they pop more on Amazon. Because right now I don't make very much per bag, like $1 or $2. I think if I really work hard by the end of this year, I can have like a $3 to $4 margin per bag, which would be great. And then like the new lifestyle pictures, stuff like that. I think that'll help things convert better on Amazon. Like just better product photos. So I'm not going to do any gift boxes this year either. I'm going to focus solely 100% on being more efficient, getting my costs down, getting my shipping down, working on my quality, keep increasing quality while shaving, ideally $1 per bag in cost. And I can do that through a combination of packaging, the price I pay for the beans, shipping costs, which is a big cost, So there's actually a lot of levers I can pull. And so once I optimize, then we'll look at bringing back gift boxes, and we'll look at bringing back, the advent calendars, stuff like that. That all sounds good, but talk dirty about the blueberry Calvert? No. The swamp is really deep, yeah. Half awake at work, yeah. I'm kind of there too. Maybe if you throw a beehole pic or Melanie's feet in each bundle, that would sell better. Well, look, Melanie's, she can sell her own feet. They're not my feet to sell. On terms of a beehole picture, I'm not sure that would help me with sales. I'm not sure. Let's see here. Mom Donnie says New York City will have its first ever lesbian fire chief. Well, thank God. Why haven't we had a lesbian fire chief until now? I mean, I'm guessing that when the lesbian fire chief shows up, the fire will just put itself out. Didn't you guys see how that worked out in the LA wildfires? I mean, basically, Let's see. Every time you put a lesbian in charge, yeah. I mean, look, I don't know. They had no water. Yeah, they also had some woke woman in charge of the water, didn't they? Didn't they have some woke woman in charge of the water? Or am I misremembering that? I could be misremembering that. Like, I'm not being sarcastic. I literally might be. I thought it was like this obese woke woman who was in charge of the water, the dam or something like that. She made huge money. Yeah. Trump is sick and he's paying you to be a cheerleader for him. What? You guys got to get it straight. Are the Jews paying me or is Trump paying me? Because I need to know who I need to send the collections notice to, because I'm not getting any money. So is it the Jews that owe me the money or Trump? Because that's what I need to know. Am I Hambly Steen or am I Hambly Mega? Both? How was my Christmas? Pretty chill. We stayed home because I didn't want my wife to get sick. So Sign of Jonah is for $1 has paid me more than Trump or the Jews. Shout out. Over on YouTube, Tinfoil Hat says you might want to do a dive into the finder's cult or the Franklin scandal. The government covered up child pedophiles is larger than people know. Interesting. I'm going to bookmark that. My boy had a wonderful Christmas. Hope yours was good with a wife. Yeah, it was pretty chill. Like I said, it didn't really feel like Christmas because it was a weekday. Did anybody else get that vibe? Anybody else get that? It just didn't feel like Christmas to me. All my snow melted. The true shocker is Candace Owens is paying me. Yeah, you're right. It felt weird because like on a weekday and I'm like, I have to work tomorrow, you know? I don't know. Um, Playing Subnautica, nice. Christmas hasn't felt the same since the lockdown. I don't know. I think last year felt pretty good. I think normally I just have like friends and family over for Christmas, and this year I couldn't, so we were just kind of sitting. We watched like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and Christmas Story and Charlie Brown's Christmas, which I had never seen before. Jeremy, did you see that study where a Muslim country has over 60% incestuous marriages? So you're weird if you're not screwing your cousin there. Yeah, it's called consanguinity, I believe is the term. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think consanguinity is the practice or the belief that it's okay to marry your first cousin. Packers, good morning, Jeremy. We got a Christmas present yesterday from the Queens. They knocked out Lions out of the playoffs and helped the Packers clinch a playoff spot. Let's go for the division. Yeah, I mean, the Packers haven't been playing. A lot of people are saying the Packers should rest players. I'm like, they haven't played good enough to earn rest. So I want them to basically play everyone. Maybe rest Jacobs. That's it. All right. Check. Okay. Leave a like on the video if you have fatigue. If you are fatigued. If you are worried about being able to be in a Barnes and Noble without some multi-time felon taking your life, or some lunatic while you cross the street hitting you with a board with a nail in it and taking your eye out, quite literally. Now, I don't know how often this happens, to people in the same community, but I will make the statement. There sure seems to be a lot of white folks who are on the receiving end of horrible behavior from unhinged black folks who are multi-time criminals who keep getting let out by woke attorney generals, or all this kind of stuff. And it really is time to start charging the judges. It really is time to start. You literally cannot relax in public. You can't relax. This poor old lady, well, we're going to talk about it. By the way, New Year's is coming up. And even if you're not a coffee drinker, I'm going to leave a link to our coffee that we roast our own stuff. It's all available on Amazon, and all of it will be able to arrive in time for New Year's. So if you're hosting or you're going to New Year's, even if you don't drink coffee, you want to have some coffee around. I highly recommend our vanilla sugar cookie, our hot butter rum, or our gingerbread, or our apple strudel, or any of our non-flavored standard blends, or our blueberry cobbler. It's all delicious. It supports the channel. It's all available in K-Cups too, and it's all available for 1 to 2 day shipping for free. So hopefully you'll help support the channel and also be a hero at New Year's Eve. On Monday night, similar to the unprovoked subway attack on Irina Zarutska, another feral mongrel dog, Antonio Moore, took the life of an innocent woman, Rita Lancharich, in the back, stabbed her in the back, and takes her life at a Barnes & Noble bookstore. You know dang well Barnes & Noble has security footage, not a peep from mainstream media. You literally cannot relax. You can't relax around, anybody in public. Anybody. I'm going to put the link to the coffee shop in the chat, and it'll also be in the pinned comment too. You can't chat. You can't relax. It's like, I don't know what else to tell people. A woman lost her life while innocently shopping for books at Barnes & Noble. Rita was found unresponsive with a knife in her back inside the bookstore at Palm Beach Gardens Monday night. Officers immediately rendered aid at the scene and transported her to a nearby hospital where she passed away. The person who did it, later identified as Antonio Moore, ran out of the store after the brutal attack, surveillance camera footage showed. Moore, who is 40, was arrested in the woods near the store shortly after the incident and has since been booked on first-degree premeditated murder. Now, at what point, by the way, so we have, guaranteed this was a repeat offender. We'll get to that. He admitted to it and claimed that he had heard her tell him to do it, according to the probable cause affidavit. He told police that he did not intentionally target her, but she was just the closest person inside the store. Like, how would you even go to these cities? Like, I don't even understand. Like, you have to leave. I have another case coming up in the same video where it's just, what are you even supposed to do? She's at a freaking Barnes & Noble. Moore arrived in Palm Beach Gardens on a bus from Georgia about a week before the attack. He reportedly had stopped in the bookstore to charge his phone when he felt an internal buildup that led to his fight or flight response kicking in. Isn't this the exact same story? Isn't this the exact same story that the man who took Irenia's life said? It's pretty much the exact same story. Am I wrong? Why did he have the knife in the first place? I mean, you cannot, I mean, you see a guy like this, you cannot relax. You need to literally run away. I don't care if people make fun of me. You know, if you're not carrying, you don't turn your back on somebody like this and you get away from them. Just look at them. The problem is so many white liberals are like, man, I don't want to cross the street because people will call me racist. Now you're dead. Now, I'm not saying she was a liberal, okay? But I'm saying, like, you better believe I'm crossing the street if I see a guy that looks like this. Crazy look in their eye, unkempt. I'm crossing that street. And you can call me whatever you want. I'd rather you call me racist than be dead. How about this person? Interesting look to them as well. Doesn't this person literally have like the same eyes? This person was arrested. Before I tell you what they did, 8 arrests this year alone. 1 arrest last year, 4 arrests the year before, 1 arrest in 2020. Oh, and he stabbed somebody in 2011. So that's 14 arrests since 2020 and also a stabbing in 2011. Guess what he did? Well, some 75-year-old grandma, I'm not sure, I don't want to show the video. I want to zoom in here. I just can't. He had a baseball bat-like weapon with a screw in the end and just attacked a 75-year-old white lady standing at the street corner waiting to cross the street. Authorities, of course, said the suspect, who has a violent person caution and an extensive criminal history, including random attacks, allegedly swung the weapon like a baseball bat and struck an unsuspecting 75-year-old woman in the face. The victim, Jeanette Markin, was left with a laceration that was bleeding heavily and is expected to permanently lose her eye. The brazen incident occurred just outside King County Courthouse, downtown in Seattle, and back on December 5th. It's only getting reported now, by the way. Suspect Fail Vaiagalapia was arrested shortly after the incident. When King County Sheriff's Office deputy posted near the courthouse rushed to the scene, he's been charged with first-degree attack and being held on $1 million bail. And by the way, I'm not going to show it. I don't want to show it. You just look at this weapon he had. There's a huge bolt hanging out the side of it. And he just tried to take this woman's life. I mean, how are we not charging the judges? How are we not charging the judges at this rate? Cops refer to him as a regular. He usually just punches. I guess today he decided to escalate from his usual. How about we do our flipping job, okay? And we don't wait for him to kill somebody. How about that? How about we don't wait for him to escalate from punches and we keep him out of civilized society? If you're caught, look at this lady. Nice lady. Blind forever now. Probably will have PTSD forever. Probably will keep voting Democrat. I mean, look what he did to this woman. This guy has, by the way, other assault convictions in 2023, 2024, and 2020. They were all marked down to misdemeanors, and he was freed. I mean, are we talking about it? Several facial fractures, including a broken nose, cheekbone, gouged out or eye. But, you know, we can't be arresting these people. How about this family? All of them are dead. Why? Because she wanted to not be responsible. A 3-year-old boy orphaned as his entire family is wiped out on the way home from a Christmas party by a driver speeding the wrong way down the highway. Any guesses on were they high on drugs? Bet you this person probably survived too. Oh yeah. She had non-life-threatening injuries. They're all dead, and this woman didn't even have life-threatening injuries. And she was drunk. Officials confirmed that alcohol was a contributing factor in the crash. Now this kid's whole family's dead. You know, it's like this case is maybe a little bit different because it's a DUI, and that seems like, you know, something that all groups of people seem to have a problem with. But I don't understand. Like, why do we have to why can't we have tougher, like, we don't have, can't wait to see arraigned before a bow tie wearing no nonsense Harris County Judge Fleischer, gonna be on YouTube. Yeah, I mean, it's just, this is what happens when you live with no consequences, and it's always seemingly the same group of people that are suffering because of it. Just pathetic. No consequences, just going around killing people. No, you know, just going around killing people. Anyone want to bet that they had multiple prior arrests? Have Lily Gaddis on, Jeremy. Why does that name sound familiar? Oh, Qatar.gov hit with the $20. Sorry, almost forgot to pay this one. Thank you. Just want to let you know that you actually have to, I mean, it's $7,000. So you're $6,980 short. Who is this name? Why does this name look familiar?
It's the best way to piss people off. Sprinkle a little bit of.
Is that the chick that just uses the N-word? If it's just a chick that says the N-word for shock factor of hard pass, that's not very insightful. By the way, thanks everyone for tuning in. I know it's not my regular time, but just so everyone tuning in knows, I normally do a panel show on Monday through Thursdays at 2 p.m. Eastern and Fridays at 1 p.m. Eastern. So if you're watching for the first time, please do make sure you click through on my name, The Quartering, and you click that green follow button down below the video. I think you'll probably like our panel show a lot better, but, you know, I'm live in a different time slot on Fridays usually. Monday through Thursday at 2 Eastern, usually Fridays at 1 Eastern. Today I'm a little earlier because it's Christmas and everyone else had off, so I took advantage of it, you know. Funkmaster with 5 Quartering Live gift memberships. Very cool, dude. Thank you. Shout out. I don't think there is a lower form of individual, in my opinion, than the TikTok influencer, except for when we go to the TikTok tea influencer. What is a tea influencer? Well, they talk about nothing. They talk about nonsense. They talk about, you know, who kissed who and who's cheating on who. And it's generally obese women who are these individuals. Well, this TikToker could not miss her tea sesh for 43 viewers. So she decided to participate while driving, where she mowed down an elderly white man while on stream, and he's dead now. Any idea what we're dealing with? Oh, there she is. I don't really know how much more. I mean, there's other accidents too I want to talk about here from these streamers too. On this Friday, I want to remind people our entire coffee lineup is available on Amazon, and you can get it in time for New Year's. You may not be a coffee drinker, but if you're going to a party or you're hosting, you're going to want some coffee around. And if you're going to a party and you bring coffee, that's one thing that no one's going to remember. Plus, you'll help me spread the word of Coffee Brand Coffee. For Christmas, I highly recommend our vanilla sugar cookie, our hot butter rum, our butterscotch toffee, our apple strudel, or our blueberry cobbler, or just our 003, which is our Colombian roast. It will all be there in time. Link in the description. Supports the show directly. And I think it's the best coffee available. Now let's go to I want to go to this video because we have tea. TikToker tea time. Tanisha McCarty Roten had this individual. Well, let's listen to the live stream. Okay, let's see what's going on here. She's got to be participating. She's got to have her green screen up. And I guess also be participating in tea chats with 40 people. Testimony from tears to triumph.
I don't know. It was weird. Like, so. Fuck! Let me call you right now. Oh, fuck.
What was that?
By the way, she was driving with her kids in the car. Driving with her kids in the car. On a TikTok live. Again, driving on a TikTok live with her kids in the car. Link to the coffee shop in the chat. Pinned comments.
I don't know. It was weird. Like, so. Fuck! Let me call you right now. Oh, fuck.
What was that?
Fuck. I hit somebody. You okay?
I hit somebody. Dead. TikToker who allegedly mowed down pedestrian while live streaming arrested. I just killed somebody. A TikToker known as Tea Time has been arrested after she mowed down a 59-year-old man while live streaming. And she had the gall to then go on to ask her followers for donations. The content creator, whose real name is Tanisha McCarty Roden, was arrested on Tuesday, weeks after she ran over Darren Lucas in a suburban Chicago neighborhood as he was walking home from work in November, according to Zion, Illinois' police department. The 43-year-old is charged with reckless homicide, aggravated use of a communications device resulting in death. She is being held without bond. To my family and myself, we are glad to see finally the wheels of justice are moving. Lucas's son-in-law, Chris King, told The Guardian on Tuesday after her arrest. This is how long it took for this woman to get arrested, by the way. 3 months almost. Almost 3 months. McCarty Wood was driving through the small town 65 miles north of the Windy City on November 3rd when a sickening thud was heard while she was broadcasting live while driving with her kid in the car. I just hit somebody, she screamed to the phone. A child riding in the vehicle with her can be heard repeatedly saying, "What was that?" Lucas was walking to his home from his job at a grocery store across the street when he was run down by McCarty Wooden's 2015 Ford Edge and knocked unconscious. He was rushed to the hospital where he died from blunt force injuries. The TikToker called 911 and remained at the scene. Okay, that's the least you can do. But insisted to police that she had a green light, and Lucas dove in front of her car and she was just unable to stop. She also refused to let police go through her cell phone because they would have found out she was live streaming. However, police said surveillance video showed she in fact had a red light and Lucas had the right of way to cross. Days after the crash, police learned that she was using her phone at the time, live streaming on her Tea Time TikTok account. An 8-year-old was in the vehicle with her at the time of the crash, police confirmed. Although it's unclear the relationship to McCarty, both declined medical assistance at the scene. Drugs and alcohol were ruled out. This guy worked at a grocery store, and some live streaming TikTok idiot killed him. I just don't understand. I just don't understand. You know, it doesn't make any sense to me. First of all, you shouldn't be on your phone when you're driving. I think even using a hands-free device is distracted driving. I really try to never pick up the phone if someone calls me when I'm driving. Same with texting. Really should not do it. Now, I do find, like, I'm sure all cars have this feature, but like I have an F-150 and it will read a text to me and then I can reply to a text from the, like, with my voice. That seems like a little bit better. But like, I just feel like this, I mean, I don't know how you fix stupid in this case, but like, good grief. Here's another case, by the way. Now, I'm still on the fence. I don't know if this is real or fake. Because you have another American live streamer runs somebody over during a live stream, and he was in a Tesla Cybertruck. So, of course, everyone covered it in the media, you know, because Cybertruck bad, Elon man bad. Footage shared by Clavicular, whose real name is Braden, shared on December 24th, showed an individual lying in front of the windshield of his car. A person off camera can be heard telling him to start driving, after which a driver appears to move forward over the individual. The streamer then said, "He dead? Hopefully." Shortly after the footage went social media, Clavicular's Kick channel was banned. This is a Kick streamer. Now we're going to show you the video of this one because you don't really see anything. In further footage, he was seen speaking to an individual wearing a reflective safety jacket. He was heard claiming that he acted in self-defense. You saw that, right? Bro, they were surrounding our car. I can't see anything. Well, that's why when you're afraid, I don't know what's going on. He also alleged that people around the vehicle were armed, saying that he could see a pistol through clothing. So far, the streamer has not issued a public statement on the matter, and no further details have been released regarding the person involved. Let's see if I can find the video. Here it is.
Start driving with this guy. Drive.
Oh my god! You probably just ran him over. Oh my god. Oh my god. He was on the car.
This guy does not even look like he's concerned at all. Just kept on driving.
Is he dead?
I don't know.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Now, if this is real, looks like, you know, this is 100% murder. Nobody can claim it was self-defense. Guy had his phone in his hand. You can see he's clearly not a threat. He looked like a threat to me. By the way, upstanding citizen turned potential attempted vehicular homicide victim by streamer known as Clavicular was an up-and-coming streamer and a model citizen who unfortunately got pummeled by a Cybertruck earlier tonight. Let's see about this model citizen here.
I got the biggest clip tonight. Clavicular report me $2.2 million. I already signed my Kodak Black.
By the way, we had this going on beforehand.
Get this little guy out of here. Alright.
You threw something at him.
The best course of action, but I want to kill each and every one of these guys.
In GTA.
No, I want to.
Well,
Run this guy over here.
Oh my fucking
Start driving with this guy on the car.
By the way, whoever told him to start driving with this guy on the car, bad friend. Probably not getting into your car. When I look at the collision though, it doesn't really, it sounds like he hits another car or like a different item to me.
Drive.
Like he's here on the side, right?
Oh my god! You probably just ran him over.
And by the way, there's a car sitting right in front of him here. It feels like he hit this car, not the person, right? And by the way, did they pull in front of him?
Oh my god. Oh my god, the car. He was on the car.
Well, the ones with pistols, the one. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
That's
They're all
self-defense.
unregistered guns.
No?
Yeah. I see the print popping through their sweatpants when they're pressing us.
They put up on Twitter at our Airbnb, and they're like, Kodak Black sent me to press you for throwing ramen on Marky.
What?
Locked him to his car on the left.
I mean, I just influencers need to be removed from the roads. You know, that's I mean, maybe he got crushed between two vehicles, but if this is real, I mean, this seems to me like self-defense. 100% to self-defense. He feared for his life. Now, he probably shouldn't have said, is he dead? Hopefully.
I think he is.
Trying to leave up out of here?
Nah, that's my friend right there.
Oh man, come on, bro. He the good guy.
He is?
The motherfucker on the ground, the bad guy. He did what he was supposed to, run his motherfucking asshole.
Okay.
And there you go. There's the pilot. People are just too clout hungry, too crazy, and makes me want to stay inside. But he is white, so he's probably cooked. Is he dead? Hopefully, guy said without hesitating. Without hesitating. He dead? Hopefully. Oofy doofy. This is fake AF, an influencer trying to make his channel famous. I know, I don't know. It looks, you know, it looks fake, but the collision was real. They would have had to put something in front of the tire that he just rolled over to fake it. That one feels like, especially because it's Kick, and like Kick is full of these like, Kick is where like the most degenerate streamers ever go. So it's, you know, let's see here. We got this Trump story. I would say they probably have a good chance if they're in Florida. I'd agree with that. If you just shock stop and the tires get them to squawk and shake the camera, touch bump physical camera, something, add a thump, it's authentic. Yeah. Isn't a Cybertruck like the heaviest passenger vehicle on the road? Yeah. He is in the hospital. That part is true. I did read that. Yeah. It's just all like the lowest common denominator. The biggest like degens on the planet. That's who end up on Kick because they've been banned everywhere else, essentially. I'm not shitting on Kick. It's not their fault. But it sounded and looked like it hit a curb. Yeah. 7th. Yeah. Yeah, they're all crazy on Kick. It's not normal. It's a normal thing. Yeah. Guitar player says it's always the same group of people, but if you try to call it out, they call us racist. Yeah. Well, that doesn't really work anymore, does it? Well, if you're tuned in on this day after Christmas, I appreciate you tuning in, and I hope that you appreciate the extra shift we put in here. We are normally live Monday through Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern. We have a panel show with Melanie Mack and Hannah Claire Brimlow and Luke Radowski. So if you haven't yet, please follow the channel. We've got 9K on Rumble on a day when we're not normally live, on a time when we're not normally live. That's incredible. Hopefully, if you're on the homepage watching, you just click the quartering, click the green follow button down below, and you tune in at a regular time, because that would be amazing. We've definitely, since December 20th, we went from 367,681 to 368,000. We gained 1,000 followers in the last week, which was great. It's great. So shout out if you're new in chat. Thanks, Dirty. Appreciate you. People are drunk as fuck on the U-Log yesterday. I know. I checked in the chat a few times. You're very welcome, Midnight in the Mountains. I checked in on the stream a couple of times, and it was definitely getting a little... it was getting a little, there was pretty much a core 500 or 600 people in there, even at 2 in the morning. What's going on, everyone? Just a segment for my personal channel, the Jeremy Hambley channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, it's on YouTube, it's on Rumble, it's everywhere. And I hope that you'll become a subscriber, because I get to cover a little more, how would I say, a wider variety of topics, to be a little bit more uncensored. This is one that probably wouldn't be, on my main channel. But it appears in a Christmas Eve bonanza. Donald Trump was right all along. It appears that way about these votes. Good Logic wrote, "This week we learned that the J6 protesters were 100% in the right. The illicit vote tabulation of 315,000 ballots in Biden's alleged 12,000 vote win in Georgia vindicates Trump and the J6 rally entirely." If this is true, 312,000 fake votes in a very Democrat county, that means that Donald Trump would have won Georgia. He would have won the election. Now, Georgia has officially responded to 315,000 ballots not properly signed back in 2020. Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger has said that a, quote, clerical error in the state does not erase valid legal votes, responding to renewed scrutiny of Georgia's 2020 election results, which former President Donald Trump has repeatedly and falsely claimed was stolen from him. By the way, New Year's is coming up. Real quick, link to my coffee shop. All of our roasts are available. You'll get them in time for Christmas. We have our 003 Colombian sugar cookie, hot butter rum, gingerbread, blueberry cobbler, apple strudel, our full lineup, all available. And if you order today or over the weekend, you will have it in time. If you're hosting for New Year's or you're going somewhere, bring a bag with you or bring some K-Cups with you. I promise people will be very, very thankful. And it's something most people don't think about. And I will be extremely thankful because it's more people just in time for New Year's, I mean. Earlier this month, Fulton County acknowledged that before the Georgia State Election Board, that more than 130 tabular tapes from the 2020 election were in fact not signed. A lapse, officials said, involved 315,000 ballots, and which brought renewed scrutiny and questioning of the results, even though multiple audits including a hand count, affirmed the results. Trump and his allies have consistently claimed, without evidence, of widespread fraud during 2020. In early January 2021, ahead of Biden taking office, Trump infamously called Raffensperger a Republican, asking him to help find enough votes to overturn the election. Biden won the 2020 election with 306 electoral votes to Trump's 232. And even if Georgia was flipped for Trump, Biden still would have won the election. So that in itself may be true. But the question is, how many other states like this? By the way, the link to the coffee shop is in the description and the chat. There have been multiple audits, recounts, and investigations in Georgia's 2020 election, including a statewide hand recount and audit that confirmed the original results. Well, maybe. Understand, in Fulton County, Georgia, in Delaware County, Pennsylvania, in Maricopa County, Arizona, the quote, evidence for the election issues has been sitting there for years. That the election laws were not enforced and that these county officials knowingly certified ballots that had no chain of custody, no required signatures, either on the ballots or the poll tapes, were printed on non-official paper and therefore not valid. And then each county went ahead and certified hundreds of thousands of ballots they knew they could not legally certify. They claimed they certified invalid ballots, but they could not legally do so. If you understand what I'm telling you, this tweet says, the county, state, and federal judges know what happens if this makes it into a courtroom and it's established on court record, officially in evidence. They knowingly certified ballots in a clearly illegal manner, and that's why the same corrupt people running many of these same counties and state courts have worked furiously to keep the evidence out of the courtroom. That's according to Brian Cates, political pundit. Here we have the Delaware County P8. Now, a lot of these videos aren't exactly new. A lot of these videos aren't exactly new. Oh, I've got the wrong background. There we go. A lot of these videos aren't exactly new. Delaware County PA 2020 election videos have never been adjudicated on merit. Our whistleblower footage shows officials openly discussing and destroying poll tapes, return sheets, and other required records while admitting it's potentially a felony and joking about a little campfire in these videos.
So quite concerned and baffled as to why Lorraine dumped all the V drives in a bag and just returned them that way. What?
I almost said she was a fucking bitch, but you're three ladies here.
What? It's okay, we've heard that.
Dump them in a bag.
No, sweetie.
Put them in a box. She did some sort
How
of...
can she get away with that?
But then she put it in the big plastic bag and puts it on top of the hood of her car. This is the second day. I won't even tell you what she did the first day. She goes, the traffic's going by. We don't have anything for Chester 1-1. We don't have the pinks for we don't, and Holcroft is missing. Right.
Tom, why do you have to rip it up? It makes you feel better?
Yeah. It's just so many copies. I don't want anybody to pick it up and take the stuff away.
Oh.
We're going to have a little campfire going.
And that was 4 times.
A little campfire going.
Chester 1, it's missing Haverford, Falcroft, with no piece of paper.
Why is it missing those V drives?
I have no idea. But there's 1,000 V drives in there. And I'm like, and they all came out of the plastic cases. They were all over the place. She took V. Chester 1, it's missing Haverford, Falcroft.
I mean,
how risk limiting audits are going to take care of this need for us. All risk limiting audits do is test the machinery.
That's all.
You and I know that.
I'm never participating in one of those.
Why?
Part of those.
Because they're not done right, because the state doesn't know what the hell
And
they're
there were
doing.
2 people down, that little Victoria,
Okay.
and then the Asian gentleman. They were about as helpful as this table.
Every fucking...
And
I don't think they knew what they were doing, but
they
no
didn't,
one...
but when you would ask them, it's there. And before you could say, well, they were going, those two people that were down there at that risk limiting order, they didn't help us. Oh no, Ziggy and I had to.
Interesting. I mean, here you have, weird burp came out there. Joe Rogan on Georgia finding 315,000 votes from 2020 election without proper signatures.
Of Georgia election procedure law, i.e. it was not done in compliance with the statute. That does not automatically mean individual voters did anything wrong or that their ballots are criminally illegal. But it does mean the county certification process for those votes did not follow the state legal requirements. So those are not supposed to have been counted? Is that what they're saying? Because it didn't follow the requirements? That's what they're saying.
Yes,
so
that is
said,
what they're
scroll
saying.
back up again so I can hear. So it says poll workers must also print and sign 0 tapes at the start of voting to show machines begin at 0, and these signed tapes serve as the official certification that reported totals from the scanner are authentic. That's what they require. So they require people to do that. So maybe someone didn't do that.
Maybe.
What they were required. That's a possibility.
I think 36 did.
36 of 37 advanced voting precincts in Fulton County had failed to sign the tabulation tapes, including that the county violated official election record document processes required by statute.
Now, this doesn't, I mean, like, maybe they're all legit votes, and, like, this doesn't actually really change anything. You know, that's possible. You know, it's like he could have won on a technicality type thing. But this is why we need to have paper votes.
The voting precincts, put this in, that failed to sign the tabulation tapes, were they predominantly Republican or Democrat?
Well, they were Democrat.
Just Google Fulton County. Click images.
Yeah,
That's Shane Gill saying they're all black people. Yeah.
Do you know? What do you think?
I don't know. Well, I mean, if the Republicans are complaining about it, it's obviously a Democrat.
Right.
County.
For sure.
It was close.
Here we go.
That's how I would have spelled it. That's how I would have spelled it.
I thought it was right.
There's a lot going on.
I can't believe anything's wrong there.
I thought it was right. I wonder if AI would have figured it out.
It would have.
With Perplexity would have.
Yeah.
Specific 36 to 37 advanced voting locations with unsigned tapes are not publicly broken out by party, but Fulton County as a whole is strongly Democratic.
There you go.
And its advanced early vote totals in 2020 were overwhelmingly Democratic. In other words,
again, so even if he would have won Georgia, he would not have won the election. But we need to look at Arizona, Michigan, Pittsburgh, and see, you know, what kind of, if nothing else, we need to change the, you know, everything needs to be a paper vote. Everything just needs to be a paper ballot. And that's just enough of this. I mean, who can forget these images? Remember when they were like putting this crap? Remember this? Why? Why were they doing that? Trump needs to get, here's how I'll wrap this topic up. Trump's greatest legacy that he can have, other than deportations, which will be, you know, very important, will be to get more security in the elections going forward. He needs to get more election, you know, get this stuff, voter ID required at in every election, federally. Get it done. That could secure the Republican vote, you know, for many elections. Sure, deporting 40 million illegals, many of which many believe vote in elections, will help, but also getting stricter elections. You know, the 400,000 votes in Milwaukee at 3 a.m. was an interesting thing. You know, this is absolutely got to be on Trump's list, and he's got to do it before the midterms. Remember this video? This is an old video that they put out. Well, watch her. Whoops. Putting something in her pocket. That's odd. Why is she taking that? Why is she taking a drive and putting it in her pocket and this guy's standing in front of the camera? Whoop, in the garbage. Whoops. Obese black woman with a coof mask on. I'm sure she's a Trump voter. You're running out of time, Trump. Midterms are in fall. Get it done before then. Otherwise, get used to it because it's going to keep happening. Don't forget to pick up your coffee brand coffee over on Amazon. Link in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you again real soon. All right. Well, for the 10,000 on Rumble and the hundreds elsewhere, this is not my normal time. I'm normally live at 2 Eastern, Monday through Thursday, with wonderful co-hosts Melanie Mack, Hannah Claire Brimlow, Luke Rodowski. Please, please, it's absolutely free. Click through to my channel, to the Quartering channel, and click that green follow button so you actually get notified when I'm live. I really want to see some huge numbers in 2026. And I need you to click the follow button, download the Rumble app, follow me there so you get notified for us to reach those heights. I will be working next week, unlike some of my lazy cohorts, so it'll be another opportunity to probably pick up some new viewers. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful, safe weekend. Go your favorite local sports team. And I've got a quick word from Morgan and Morgan as well here to share with you that I almost forgot. If you're in an accident or injured in any way, you should know how to protect your rights. That's why I'm so glad to have this video sponsor Morgan & Morgan. When you're seriously hurt, your injury could be worth millions of dollars. Morgan & Morgan doesn't settle for lowball offers. Just in the past couple of months, Morgan & Morgan saw verdicts of $12 million in Florida, 34 times the highest insurance offer, $26 million in Philadelphia, 40 times the highest insurance offer, and $6.8 million in New York, 25 times the highest insurance offer. Their fee is absolutely free unless you win. Fighting big companies takes a big law firm. As America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan are ready to take on insurance companies of all sizes. Morgan & Morgan has modernized the injury law process so you can submit a claim and communicate with your legal team all from your smartphone. And remember, size matters. Morgan & Morgan is big. They're America's largest injury law firm. That means they have the resources to fight to get you the best results. Just kidding. Here it is, without the echo. If you're in an accident or injured in any way, you should know how to protect your rights. That's why I'm so glad to have this video sponsor Morgan & Morgan. When you're seriously hurt, your injury could be worth millions of dollars. Morgan & Morgan doesn't settle for lowball offers. Just in the past couple of months, Morgan & Morgan saw verdicts of $12 million in Florida, 34 times the highest insurance offer, $26 million in Philadelphia, 40 times the highest insurance offer, and $6.8 million in New York, 25 times the highest insurance offer. Their fee is absolutely free unless you win. Fighting big companies takes a big law firm. As America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan are ready to take on insurance companies of all sizes. Morgan & Morgan has modernized the injury law process so you can submit a claim and communicate with your legal team all from your smartphone. And remember, size matters. Morgan & Morgan is big. They're America's largest injury law firm. That means they have the resources to fight to get you the best results, and they're capable of spending millions on a case to see it through. Did you know you can start a claim with America's largest injury law firm in just one click? It's so easy. You can start your claim now with Morgan & Morgan at www.forthepeople.com/quartering or click the link in the description down below. There we go. Make sure you click that follow button before you go. We'll be live Monday, 2 Eastern with our full crew, I think, if not just me, at our regular time. And